Welcome everyone to another session of OurVentura. I'm Annie Gabrielle, your host, and today we have a very interesting show. We have WAV artists, and we have a program there called Art from Trash. And today our two guests are Sarah Calvin and Vonda Gray. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you made it today, and the viewers can see there's some interesting pieces on the table, and plenty more where that came from.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
And so much fun to do and save the environment.
That's right. Well, let's get right down to it. How did this program start?
Sarah.
The WAV, which is where we're from.
Working Artists Ventura.
Right. The beginnings of the WAV, it was a little unsure what we were going to do, but because we're a sustainable building, there were a number of artists that were interested in the environment and creating programs that would sort of further the idea of us being sustainable. And Art from Trash actually developed from two artists, Marcelino Jimenez and Caitlin Blair Harvey, who are very dedicated to creating art and also saving the environment.
Yes. Marcelino actually was involved in art. What was it?
Art from Scrap.
Art from Scrap in Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm. He helped create it.
Yes.
That's great.
So he and his family moved to the WAV, and he's hoping to do something like that. So Art from Trash is our Ventura version of Art from Scrap.
Well, I think it's great. When I first got involved in it, I was excited because I always thought I was a closet weirdo. Because
well,
I've been doing this kind of thing since I was a kid. And even my college professor made us turn our homework in on old cereal boxes and whatnot, or else you'll flunk. So I saw it and I'm like, this is for me. So yeah. I'm so glad you came to tell us about it.
And Caitlin Blair Harvey, who's a wonderful jewelry designer, but she is the greenest person I know. And she's this very chic young woman from the north of California who has lived in the woods for a long time. Her parents are green and aware, and you can see her in all her fineness in the trash bins, picking out bottles and things that people shouldn't have put in trash and putting it back in the recycling, or things that have been thrown in recycling and put them back in the trash.
Well, let's go back to the WAV. Isn't that considered the greenest building in our country?
It's the greenest building of its kind in the world.
Oh, wow.
Or was wonderful. When it was built a year and a half. When it was finished a year and a half ago, it was the greenest building of its kind.
So this project makes sense to come from that community.
Yes.
Now I know people are getting curious to see what's on this table.
Well, the bottle brick is one important aspect of our... It's an important part of our workshops.
Hold this for a second, would you?
Developed from projects that are going on all over the world right now. There are buildings built from these bottles that are filled with all kinds of plastic trash that are not recycled. And it was Caitlin who introduced this concept to us at the WAV.
Yes, and you just take your trash, cut it up into smaller pieces, stick it as much as you can in the bottle, and then use sorry, I didn't mean to poke your eye out. Be careful with the stick. Use a stick, a square one like this, or you can just go to the hardware store and buy a dowel or a little PVC pipe and stick it in the bottle. One more piece. And put the top on. And it is really hard, and you can build benches. We're hoping to build children's playgrounds.
That's amazing.
Stools, chairs, benches.
We have a possible project in the harbor in Ventura, and we're excited.
That is great.
Plus, we think they're beautiful. Put colored trash in, and it's gorgeous, and you line them up, and they just are colorful and lovely, and great filler for bookshelves or whatever else you're building.
And so environmentally friendly.
Yes.
That's great. So when did you girls get involved in the project?
Well, it's been a couple months that we've started. It's on Tuesdays that we meet and discuss our projects and
And it is open to the public.
It is.
Oh, that was my next question.
Right. And then monthly we have workshops, and we're having children's groups come to learn how to use plastic bottles and turn it into interesting art. And we're hoping that
I'm going to do this and show, since we got on plastic bottles.
This was from a workshop we had about 3 weeks ago, and the public was invited, and we just brought a bunch of empty bottles.
There you go.
Buttons, strings, anything that was discarded, and put them all out, and this is some of the stuff that people came up with.
Well, in this particular one I came up with, never thinking that I could do art from trash. I'm an abstract expressionist painter, and I love it. I'm going to make a whole ocean full of these plastic bottle sea people.
It looks like a jellyfish.
It is.
Yep.
That's great.
It was so much fun.
It was fun.
You know, one of the great things about those workshops was that workshop was that to see the parents and children interacting and building their one piece, the whole family. You know, we had one father, mother, and daughter who built an incredible piece, and another couple of mother-daughters that built amazing pieces, and father and sons.
Well, I just thought it was fascinating that nobody came up with the same thing.
Nothing that even resembled the other thing. It was really fun and wonderful and creative.
And here's another one that I thought was very cool. And this is just from a green soda bottle and some copper wire and buttons.
Here, you want me to hold it
and
over
beads.
here so
Sure.
it's really...
Thank you.
There you go. So you can really see it, because the different colored bottles create different effects, and you can use wire and buttons and beads, and these look like some sort of almost like shower curtain hoops, but they're not. I love it. And letters.
Now, who knew you could cut up bottles and curl them?
No. Oh, where's yours? Yours is on the ground. Let me see the one that you did, because you really curled well.
Well...
I don't know where
it's okay. They took it away, but we'll show Marcelina's.
And this is the one that Marcelino Jimenez made.
And that's out of some kind of
plant material around here, acorns.
Acorns.
And other things that we've had donated. We've used, actually got some things donated from green art people in Ventura. Mm-hmm. And who are very into reusing manufactured items or leftovers from manufactured items.
And the other good thing, Sarah, you might want to comment on this, is Christine Wee, that works with the environmental portion of our city, and she comes and gives recycling demos before the workshops.
Well, she explains that what happens in a landfill is very different than what you would think. People say, I'm going to throw something away, and it's being taken care of. And she's explaining that what actually happens in a landfill is far different than what we think. They have done some research into finding out what actually happens very deep into the landfill, and they found that things are preserved as they are rather than decompose. So even if you're putting something that they say is now able to decompose, it doesn't, because it's so airtight. Mm-hmm. And so she takes the time to tell people about the details of what happens there and what can be recycled, what can't be recycled, and she's there to answer questions, and there's so much people really need to know.
It's fascinating. The interesting thing for me particularly was that even fruits and vegetables don't decompose in the landfill.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so all those things that I think are going to stuff up my sink so I don't put them in and grind them away are really just creating more methane to affect the atmosphere.
So is the option just make a compost? Just
yes,
save it all for
absolutely,
compost?
Absolutely. And then...
Well, now we're at the pièce
Yeah.
de résistance.
Now we're going to take junk and trash.
This one blew my mind because I recognized some of the pieces and what they were from. So, Sarah, please explain to us.
Yeah, I also am a person who thought that I could not make art from trash. I was very frustrated in the class until all of a sudden it just hits you and you're starting to make something. And one of the things that I wanted to do, I've always wanted to make jewelry and have never been able to figure out what to make it out of. But now I have almost anything to make it out of. For instance, this first earring, these are made from onion bags. Bags that hold onions. You can buy it at the market. These right here are made from sushi trays. Here's another form of earring from a sushi tray over here.
So cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
a lot of people might recognize these right here, the yellow, blue, and orange. Well, that's that O stands for organic, and you can find that logo anywhere in your near neighborhood market. This one here, Cool Pack. That's
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think that there might have been some ground turkey as part of that one. We have a what is this code? Price code?
Oh, the barcode.
Yeah,
barcode earrings, and there's this one right here, this white one. That is the top of a cottage cheese container.
I just have to show the back of this barcode one because I personally might turn it around, and because this is very cool. You're going to get to see all my...
What is it that you're seeing there?
I'm seeing...
it says something.
Yeah, see, there's stuff on the
it's a
back.
mark.
There you go.
Yes, right.
That's better.
Yeah,
So you can wear them either way.
Well, I wore a pair of these on, I think it was last Art Walk in my studio, and everybody that looked at me said, well, I have to say a name of a store, Trader Joe, because it says it right there on it, and it's fun. They're just a lot of fun.
You're wearing them right now.
Well, these are yes, exactly. I'm wearing a cottage cheese container. Yeah, and nobody knows that some of these things are from trash.
Right.
Especially these. And that's why I wanted these.
Because actually people pay money to print that kind of stuff on materials for T-shirts and things. And you don't need to have it printed on material. You can actually just take it from the item itself.
Exactly. And it makes it unique and unusual.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of fun to wear as well as fun to make.
Well, I wore my pin because I used to make stuff out of just found scrap metal. And I wore it for the occasion because this is what we do.
Right.
That's great.
So anyway, why don't you tell us more about how the public can get a hold of the information, if they want to come and join, have fun at the workshops?
Well, we have a website, an official WAV website called WAVArtists.com.
Mm-hmm.
And there's everything that we do there is listed on one of the pages: performances, events, and visual arts. We have a blog also on the same website that shows photographs of past events to let people know that it was successful and it was a lot of fun. And they can contact us through info@waveartists.com. They can call us at the WAVE office number, which can be found on the contact page, and try to set up a class if they have a group from schools.
Right, if any school group wants to come, it would be really
That's a great idea.
Yes.
And then also, we're going to sign off now, but want to welcome the public to come every first Friday of the month to the WAVE for First Fridays, and it's a free-for-all. Studios are open. You can go see what the artists are making.
That's right.
And you'll see a lot of art from trash. Thank you so much for being guests today.
Thank you for having me.
And I just can't wait to see what else we're going to come up with. Thank you so much. This is Annie Gabriel for OurVentura. And I want to thank our guests today. And keep watching. Peace.